Good afternoon. How's it? My camera looks a little dark. One sec. The way my house sits, I'm currently at a point in the day where, and it's when it's cloudy, that like it gets brighter and darker, just randomly. Also, I'm gonna pull this a little forward. There we go. All right. Oh, now the sun's gonna be on my face. That's all right. That's all right. Hey, Network Bib. Hello, Hafiz. How you guys doing? You guys having a good day? Or I guess have you had a good day? I think some of you guys are actually pretty deep into your day, huh? Turn the music down a little bit. Nice to meet you as well. I think you've been here before, Hafiz. Kogarashi, hello, Kogarashi. How are you? Good to see you guys. I was posting in the Discord really quick. Nice, learning Arduino stuff. Very cool. So you're in hardware land, huh? Hardware land is a cool place. It's a cool place to be. I'm about ready to climb back into MCP world. I didn't work on this at all yesterday off stream, so I'm basically kind of picking up right where I left off. Alright. Here we go. Also, I'm streaming later today. I'm sorry about that. Usually I try to aim for that 2 o'clock slot, but you know, having a day job really gets in the way of my streaming career. Network Bib. For now, it's probably a phase. Hey, man. Do what you're interested in, you know? My intention today is I'm going to try to solve that filter problem that kind of really got me hung up yesterday. But I have an idea of what I need to do, so hopefully I'm going to try to implement that this afternoon. My eye won't stop watering though, so if it looks like I have a really red eye, which I don't even know if you guys can tell that much detail. It's a little dark in my allergies. Kogarashi, how much is your PC setup, sir, if you don't mind me telling? Oh, yeah, I don't mind at all. It's not anything crazy. It's, here, I can actually get the specs for you. Look, right here. Fast fetch, I think. Yeah, so it's a Zephyrus G14. I think there should be an NVIDIA graphics card here. Yeah, 3060. It's just a laptop, so there's nothing fancy about it. I think I got this for less than $1,000 at Best Buy in like 2021 or 2020. I could tell you the exact price, but it was definitely less than $1,000. So nothing really to write home about, you know. But plenty for what I do. I actually don't, if you can believe it, I actually don't have a PC in my house. All my computers are laptops. Aside from, I do have one Linux server, which is like an old Dell Optiplex that a friend gave to me that has like 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I think it has like a terabyte of memory that I use to just run a little VPS. Kogarashi, LOL, $1,000. Well, fair enough, Kogarashi, fair enough. You know, and $1,000 isn't chump change to me either. But like you see people that have PC setups that are $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, some people's graphics cards cost more than everything on my desk, you know. But I do take your point. I should never scoff at $1,000. Okay, so I'm actually, I think, going to start by writing some tests. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to start with, is writing some tests. Whoops. Okay, so the crux of the issue, let's go here. Let's make a new file. I'm actually just going to separate this out into its own module. I'm going to call this filter.spec.ts. I don't know if this is how it's going to stay, but in order for me to think about this, this is how I'm going to organize it. Okay, so at the heart of this issue is I need to be able to have the LLM provide me a structured input that I can translate into a filter that looks like this. That supports nesting, it supports parentheses, it supports AND operators, OR operators. Yeah, so this is basically what I need to represent this string in some sort of a structured way. And I think how I'm going to do that is I'm going to start by declaring something I'm going to call I have some notes that I guess I have something I'm going to call a type. I think I want this to be called, like, I definitely need a filter type. Like, that's definitely a thing. But then I think I also need a type that's like a rule. Like this. So a rule would be status equals active, right? That would be a rule. And then a filter obviously would be this whole thing up here. That. And then we also need to be able to declare groups, or is that a good? I'm gonna call it a group. So we're gonna have a groups, and a group would be something like this. Let's see. I'm so bad at selecting stuff in NeoVim. I need to get better at it. Like that. Jump to the end of the line, jump to the beginning of the line. So this would be a group. And actually, let's do like that would be a group. A group would also be a group can also be a not group. And don't worry if this doesn't make any sense to you. That's okay. Because I'm basically picking up on a train of thought that I left off on yesterday. So that would be a group too. Kogarashi, yes, true, but it's good to just get things per your use. I don't think showing off is cool. You just need your thing done. Agreed, Kogarashi. Agreed. You don't need to flex on them. you just do what gets the job done. All right. Okay, so then we're gonna have a little bit of polymorphic stuff going on. So, but I'm not gonna do it in like an object-oriented way. I'm just gonna use types. Or I guess I'm gonna use types and I'm gonna use unions. So we actually have, I guess, 3 different types of groups that we can have. So we can have an OR group, right, which would be like this. Let's put that here. We can have a NOT group, that. And I'm sure somebody's like, man, this guy is so slow. But this is just how my brain works. This is the only way I can make sense of something that's a little bit more complex. So we'll delete that. Move that here. And then we also need a type and group. And so an and group would be something like this. Yeah, that makes sense. And then a filter is basically going to be some combination of all these things. So a filter is basically going to be a union where it can be, a filter can be a rule. It can be an AND group, an OR group, or a NOT group. And then each of the groups can have a list of filters associated with that group, right? So we have this kind of it's basically a tree structure is what it is. Grizzly Kings, this is TypeScript. Abu, what are you trying to do with these types? So Abu, I'm basically trying to create types that I can use. How do I express this? So the API that my MPC server is going to call exposes an endpoint that accepts filters in this shape, right? So you have to give a filter that's like a field ID, an operator, and a value, but you can combine those types of filters into really complex structures, really complex filters, right? Using combination operators and negation operators. So my MCP server, the tool that I'm exposing to my MCP server, I want to be able to communicate the structure. Yeah, I want to be able to communicate the structure of how a properly constructed filter through a scheme or through a type. And so that's what these types are trying to model. They're trying to model that filter, or how that filter should be, how that LLM should pass me a properly constructed filter, and then I'm going to write code that takes that filter and parses it into the properly formatted string, is what I'm trying to do. Kogarashi, well, I'm going to leave now. I got to get some chemistry questions done. Good luck with your coding. See you, Kogarashi. Thanks for stopping by, man. And good luck with your chemistry, man. Those were the days. Hey, Stefan, what's up, man? How's it going? For me, it is going well. It's Thursday. This is actually the last day of my work week. I'll be off tomorrow. I'm chaperoning one of my son's field trips, which should be fun. Grizzly Kings, do you need to learn JavaScript to learn TypeScript? I don't think you need to know JavaScript to learn TypeScript. It'll just be, you just have more to learn, right? So I personally think it helps to learn JavaScript. Yummers just beat me to it. I think that JavaScript, it helps to know JavaScript before you tackle TypeScript. Yeah, if you're brand new, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. But you don't. But it's not a have to, Grizzly Kings. It's not a have to. Stefan, good. Chatting from Gentoo, by the way. Is Gentoo a Linux distribution, Stefan? Abu, which DB are you using? I'm not using a DB. So I'm building an MCP server that talks to an API, a REST API, and the REST API is for a piece of software called OnSpring. The software is made by the company I use, or the company I work for, and I know our public API pretty well, so that's why I chose to build an MCP server around that API, because I was more focused on wanting to learn the MCP part of it than really the underlying thing I'm trying to talk to. So, but yeah, you can kind of see. I can kind of show you here in these docs. Like if I go to query records, right? Like here's what an example request looks like, right? If you want to get only the records whose field 6,983 equals this particular string, right? So you have to provide this API with this kind of a filter, but that's not very helpful. Like I want the LLM to be able to understand through some sort of strong typing how to properly construct the filter, and then I'll write code to parse it and turn it into a string. Okay, so what this is going to be, so all these are going to have types. They're all going to have types, because we're all going to have a type of rule. Yep. And then this is going to have a field, which is going to be a string. Actually, I'm gonna call this field name. And then this is going to have an operator. And right now we don't have that defined yet. Actually, this is going to come from a different SDK. This is going to come from field operate. What is the operate? Yeah, filter operators. That's what I want. And sometimes we need a value and sometimes we don't. Yeah, sometimes we need a value and sometimes we don't. So I think I'll just do string, and then otherwise this can be null. Okay. And then here, our groups are going to have types as well. And this is going to be a type of and. And then the conditions, not conditions, let's call this rules. Yeah, will be an array of filters. And then or will be array of filters. Yeah. So this is how we're building up like a tree structure, right? So then you could with these types of types, we could define something like this where we say filter. Well, let's just recreate this filter right here. So we could say filter equals, and then we can say let's start with an and, right? Type is and. Well, Copilot might have got that for us. Status equals active. And then we'll have an or operator. So that's one group right here. And then, yeah. This would be equals. filter operators dot equals equal. And this could be filter operators dot greater than. And this could be filter operators dot equal. Like that. So this is basically what when the LLM sends me or calls my tool, I want it to provide a structure like this, and then I'm basically going to parse this tree structure into this string when I make the request. So a lot of work to kind of get to the final result, but this should make it much more manageable, and should make it much easier for the LLM to provide me the information I need to make a proper request. Grizzly Kings, what about in job security? JavaScript versus TypeScript. Grizzly Kings, I think JavaScript's great. Anytime you're going to have to work on the front end, you're going to need to know your JavaScript. But I think TypeScript is probably becoming more and more necessary. I think TypeScript is, the larger the team, I think the more likely, the larger the project and the larger the team, the more likely it's going to be written with or using TypeScript, I feel like. Abu, I never work on LLM and MCP. That's okay, Abu. You know, I mean, I think we talked about this the other day, Abu, where this is kind of an example of me trying to just kind of, you know, if we're all trying to be T-shaped developers, this is just an example of me trying to broaden that T, right? And so I've heard a lot of people talk about MCP, and I was like, you know what? I want to try to build one of those, or I want to learn more about it, so I'm going to build one. Jason, what language is this? This is TypeScript, Jason. Oh, Stefan already answered that. Thank you, Stefan. Ducky Dev. What's up, Ducky Dev? How are you? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. It's just another fine day here in Kansas. Grizzly Kings, thanks, man. Subbed. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for subbing. Yeah, it's hard to give, you know, it's always hard to give like hard and fast rule on what language you should learn, you know, or what thing you should learn, right? I mean, it's very hyper specific to what you're trying to do or accomplish, but I think if you learn JavaScript, which you can probably get done relatively, you know, give yourself a couple months to really, you know, dive in, and then, you know, TypeScript is just a kind of another, you know, superset, right? So you should be able to pick it up fairly quickly. Hopefully not have to expend too much of your energy. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is where I was trying to get to the other day, and I could not make sense of it. Stefan, well, you crossed that 950 sub, by the way. What coffee should I get ready, black or espresso? Yeah, get some espresso, man. Ducky Dev, espresso? I have cappuccino. Oh, is that, Ducky Dev, is that a play on words? Because there's a NeoVim theme called right? Capuchin? Right? Let's see. Telescope themes. Yeah, that's kind of like a play on words. These themes are actually really nice. Those are nice themes. But I also like a cappuccino. They're good too. Stefan, I'm asking him for the special. Yeah, so if you're new here, Stefan thinks that when I hit 1,000 subs, my stream should just involve me sitting quietly, drinking 64 ounces of coffee. Ducky, Capuchin is my fave theme. Yeah, that's so the guy that I watched Typecraft, he was the YouTuber that I watched to figure out some of the early NeoVim configs that I did. It's pretty good. That's the theme he uses, I think. All right, so now we need to I don't think I'm at the point where I need to write code to parse this, but I do need to, I need to translate these types that I have. I need to translate these into Zod schemes. And I'm not really sure what that looks like. I'm not super familiar with Zod. But the way this works in my tool, right here. So basically right here where it's declaring filters, I need to declare that this filter is a filter, essentially. So I guess let me export this. I don't know. Is there anybody in the chat that knows a lot about Zod? Because I might just have to read the documentation. I don't know a ton about it, so I might just. Abu, yes, I feel the same. If you know TypeScript, then you choose between JavaScript and TypeScript as per your need. Yeah, it seems like Abu, myself, it seems like I only really write JavaScript these days if it's like a quick little script, you know, like a throwaway thing. But if it's something that I'm actually going to build and develop, then I almost, if I'm doing something in JavaScript, TypeScript world, then I'm writing it in TypeScript. Ducky Dev, my Discord bot has, like, I don't know, database server, music, status monitoring, dashboard. Dang, that Discord bot has really grown in scope, Ducky Dev. Okay, basically what I'm looking for on the Zod thing is I'm basically looking for, let's see, you can create a Zod scheme for any TypeScript type by using Z custom. This is useful for creating schemes for types that are not supported by Zod out of the box. I don't think that's what I want. I want one of two things. I either want the ability to define the filter as a Zod schema and extract a TypeScript type from it, or the inverse. I want to define a TypeScript type and turn that into a Zod schema. Let's see if Claude knows if either of those are possible. Break the matrix. I know about Zod. What's up? Okay, yeah, so break the matrix. So I have these types. I have these types right here. Right? And so I want to do one of two things. I want to either take those types and convert them to a Zod schema, or I want to define these as a Zod schema and extract a type from it. Okay, it sounds like you're working on that. So thank you, Break the Matrix, because I was just going to have to sit here and read the docs. So if you can offer any help, that would be great, man. It seems like just I don't know. Let's see if Claude is on the same path as Break the Matrix. I have a set of TypeScript types. I need to get a Zod schema that matches them. Is there a way to convert TypeScript types to Zod schemas, or convert Zod schemas to TypeScript? I'm thinking the latter is what I want to do. Tugev99 said hi. Hello, Tugev99. Good to see you in the chat. First time I've seen you here, man. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Manual conversion. You can write Zod schemas that match your TypeScript types. That's not what I want to do. I really don't want to pull in another dependency. Using Zod's built-in types. Zod provides TypeScript types for its schemas using Z-infer. So is that what I want to do? Is should I actually go back and define these as Zod schemas and then do Z dot infer? Is that the right approach here? I'm feeling that like that might be the right approach. Joker Smiles. Now that's a username. Please shout out to India. Well, hello, Joker Smiles. Hope all is well in India. We've had actually quite a few chatters from India in my stream, so nice to have another one. Stefan, why do I like hurting myself so much? Who made me use Gentoo? Well, that would be you, Stefan. You must be a glutton for pain. I can't, hold on, you guys are all commenting on his profile picture. That is a nice profile picture. I like that a lot. I'm a big Breaking Bad fan. Big Breaking Bad fan. I probably seen that show start to finish 10 times. All right, I'm sure Break the Matrix is working on this, but I'm gonna take a stab at it, and if he comes up with something better, we will do that. So I'm thinking what I need to do is I need to import Z. Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is a good show. It really is. So I'm thinking I actually need to do this. I need to say const rule schema. And I think Copilot will be able to do some of this work for me. And then like that. I'm thinking that's what I need to do. I feel like this is the proper Zod approach, but I'm a Zod newbie, so I'm not 100% certain. Stefan, have you watched El Camino? Yes, I have watched El Camino. Good movie. The whole Breaking Bad, that whole universe. I honestly, okay, this might be a hot take. As much as I love Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul might actually be a better series. I know some people may throw things at the screen for me saying that, but I honestly think, I don't know, I really enjoyed Better Call Saul. Oh yeah, it's for sure open source. It's actually, if you go to my GitHub, here I'll just post a link to the repo. The code won't be there right now, but when I get done today, I'll push up whenever I finish the stream, I always push up whatever I completed today. But you're more than welcome to. You are more than welcome to go at it. I put the repo link in the chat. I can't pronounce your username, but Beginner Stories editor name. This is NeoVim Beginner Stories. It's a lot of people have given me shit for it too, because they think it's funny that I'm a Windows user using PowerShell with NeoVim. But it works pretty well. Abu, I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. So, Abu, are you talking about the BBC Sherlock Holmes? Benedict Cumberbatch? Because I like all the Sherlock Holmes, like, big Sherlock Holmes guy here. My wife and I actually have arguments about who has done the best Sherlock. But Benedict Cumberbatch is pretty high on my list. I really want them to make more seasons, honestly, too. Hector. Look at me, Hector. Hey, guys, what's up? My kids just got home from school. Unique UX. Hi, hello, Unique UX. Ah, cool. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, of course, dude. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Abu, did you watch Dexter? I did watch Dexter. And I've also seen the new series, what is it, Dexter Cold Blood or something like that. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the original. And then there's the newest one, which is like when was it like Dexter when he was like younger, I think, is the newest show, Dexter Universe show. I haven't watched that one at all. Unique UX. What is this Discord clone? This is not a Discord clone, but yeah, I'm not building a Discord clone. I'm building an MCP server, which is a model context protocol server. I think that also answers Amber's question of what are we building. We are building a model context protocol server. Ducky, Steven, you might reach 1,000 subs. Oh, that'd be crazy, man. That's wild. Nachikit Patil. Hi, I'm new here. What are we building? Well, Nachikit, it's always good to have new people here, so thanks for stopping in. What are you building? I'm building a model context protocol server. So I'm not familiar if everyone's familiar with like kind of the generative AI world, but there's this new protocol that's been kind of popular that's running around called MCP, and so I'm building a server as part of that to basically learn about it. They don't, Joker. They don't. They do like their YouTubes. They tell me I need to play more video games on stream. Oh, what's up, dude? What is it?
It's how to write in Japanese.
Oh, very cool.
This says I know Japanese and English.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Very cool. You're bilingual. All right. A little bit more coding. Let's convert the rest of these things. So this should be const this. We haven't actually defined all those yet, have we? And this is gonna be that. And then let's see. Whoops. That's oh, this might be problematic, huh? Because I'm trying to reference schemas before. Can you do this then? Nikhil, yes, I'm familiar with MCP. Just want to know what problem you're particularly trying to solve using MCP. Oh, I'm building an MCP server that talks to an API for a particular piece of SaaS software, right? So it's just basically allowing the LLM to take actions in this SaaS software. The software is called OnSpring, but I'm assuming not a ton of people even know what that is. I am working in TypeScript. Let's see. What do you think if have to make a new GPT from scratch? How much time would it require in total? I don't know, Joker, a ton about actually building the transformers. It's something I'm trying to learn more about. Actually, am like working through a book on that topic. I don't think it would take a terribly long time if you used other people's weights. Probably the data would be probably the hard thing, right? You're talking a lot of data to try to build. I guess if you're talking about building a small transformer on a small piece of data using somebody else's weights, probably not a ton of time. But if you're talking about you're wanting to build something that like approximates, what Claude does or what ChatGPT does, that probably would take you some time. Unique UX. Yeah, it's like you can think of MCP as like some agentic AI stuff, right? The idea being that MCP is the shared protocol between clients and servers. So if you implement a client, the client can use all the existing MCP servers, right? So it's kind of like a shared common abstraction layer. Instead of every piece of tooling having to implement their own agentic framework, right? You can build an MCP server for the file system, for Postgres, for SQLite, and then any other MCP client can use those tools that those MCP servers provide, which is kind of nice. Unique UX. He's building Google Firebase clone. No, I don't think I have the developer chops to build a clone like that. Those soft pieces of software seem very complex. Hello, GP. How are you doing, man? Good to see you again. It's been a busy stream, hasn't it? We've actually had quite a few new faces here, which has been good. So I've got a little bit of an issue here. I don't know if there's any Zod experts here, but my schemas here are kind of self-referential. So I'm kind of curious how one would do this. It's kind of a cyclical schema. Or maybe a recursive type is what we'd call this. Base category type, category type. Despite supporting recursive schemes, passing cyclical data into Zod will cause an infinite loop in some cases. To detect cyclical objects before they cause problems, consider this approach. I don't think I have cyclical. Yeah, I don't think I'll have cyclical data, but I think it is definitely a recursive type. Yeah, it's because I'm using this before it's declared. So is that where the z.lazy comes into play? Z.lazy. Let's I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know enough about Zod. Z.lazy. But that's still not going to work, right? Function implicitly has a return. I don't think that's gonna work, is it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Claude because I don't know how to do this. Let's see, Abu, what's your role in your? Yes, I'm a quality engineer, so I just do manual. I do manual and automated testing for work. Let's see. No, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your first name, Patil. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Naket. I'm from India. I'm studying artificial intelligence and data science. It's nice to meet such a calm chat. I'm loving the vibe of the stream. Oh, that's great, man. Well, thanks for being here. We go for the vibe. We go for the calm vibes, you know? We like to keep it chill. GP, doing well. Happy to see you. Well, that's good, GP. It's good to see you too, man. I hope you're doing well. Things are well here, you know, in Kansas. The weather's getting better, although allergies are kind of killing me lately. Straight up killing me. I think they're killing everyone right now. It's just that time of year. Alright. What do you do if schemas need to reference themselves in Zod? Oh, sorry, Stefan, I saw your comment. Should I be getting that coffee ready? Probably not today, because if we do cross 1,000, there won't be enough time for it. Because I'll probably have to sign off here and get back to work in the next 15-ish minutes or so, but yeah, it's been a busy stream. I guess I picked a good time of day, I guess, to stream today. Lots of people around. Okay, so this is what I need to do then, I guess, here. I don't know, Claude could be completely hallucinating. But it's in a union. Let's see. What if it's a union? You know what? Actually, hold on. We actually don't need to do this, do we? We actually could do z.array, z.lazy, z.array, and then we could say filter schema, couldn't we? Yeah, I don't understand this. This is my this is just not me not understanding how you do this with Zod. Which is kind of frustrating because I would have already been on to the next thing. Yeah, it really doesn't like that. Yeah, there's like a fundamental issue here, right? There's a fundamental problem with what I'm trying to do. See you, Ducky Dev. Have a good day, man. Automocratic. The self-referential type is much easier to do in Zod 4. Okay, let me look at Zod. Zod. Didn't that just come out though? Is that like out or is it just in beta? Oh, it's in beta. Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's not gonna help me, is it? Sanskar. Hello, how are you, man? Thanks for stopping into the chat. Let's see. Zod schemas that are self-referential. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to do right here. So you basically have to do some TypeScript hackery to get this to work, huh? That's unfortunate. You can define a recursive scheme in Zod, but because of it, yeah, okay. This is what I saw on their doc page. So does this work? Let me just copy and paste this and just see if it works in. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, so that works. So then how would I implement that for what I'm doing? Madhama, hello. I've been struggling to learn programming language for a long time, but I do not know how to start. What is the best thing to start with? I would probably point you to Free Code Camp. That's where I would probably go, man, if it was me. That's where I started. I think that's where a lot of self-taught programmers these days start. It's completely free. It's oriented towards web dev. But the number one benefit of it is it's going to teach you how to learn. It's going to teach you JavaScript. And then once you know JavaScript, you can pretty much build just about anything you want to build. And then you can kind of figure out where you want to go from there, right? Do you want to go learn some TypeScript? Do you want to pick up some other, maybe a stronger typed compiled language like C# or Java or something like that? You can kind of expand your horizon. But I feel like JavaScript's a great starter language. It's super friendly. It works in the client. It works on the server. I just don't think you can go too wrong there, man. Sorry, you've been struggling a little bit though. I think Free Code Camp's also great because the curriculum's very structured. You get fast feedback. Like, you're gonna know right away if you're doing something wrong. There's also a really great community forum. If it sounds like I'm a shill for Free Code Camp, it's because I am. I don't make any money off it. I'm not sponsored by them. Nothing like that. It's just purely because I had such a great experience. I think it's a wonderful resource, and so I want to point other people that way. Stefan. Oh, Stefan went to walk his dog. Sorry, Stefan. I just saw this. See you, man. Kyle Brown says, how you feel about x86 assembly? Kyle Brown, I don't know. I don't know it, man. I haven't done any type of low-level programming like that. I've pretty much just done a lot of web development, a lot of testing, you know, automated testing, unit testing, integration testing for kind of web dev related stuff. So anything assembly, C, C++, though I don't know any real lower level languages. I know you can use C# in sort of an unsafe lower level way, but I've never had the need to write C# that way. Sanskar, I don't like the MCP Quick Start Guide. Only has TypeScript version for Node.js users. As a beginner in JavaScript, TypeScript feels overwhelming to me. Sanskar, I totally understand that. Yeah, there's some stuff they're doing in their SDK, and partly I think it's because they're under the hood. They're using it to generate the tool definitions for the LLMs. I think I honestly don't know how the MCP protocol works, like down below the stack, like what it looks like at a raw level. But I'm guessing they're using the type definitions to define the tools, and so that's why there's some reliance on some native typing. Let's see. Adam says, I think you should try putting z.zod type on at least on those recursive types. Maybe the Zod works here, but TypeScript just struggles because the problem is simply any return type. Okay, yeah, definitely, dude. I can try that. So you're saying, I think, yeah. So you're saying, so if I follow what you said, put z.zod type on here. Oh, okay. So then I do need to have then I do need to have the types defined ahead of time, I think is what we're saying. So if I follow that, like for this guy right here, I would need to do type and group equals this would be rules.filter, I think is what I'd want here. And then you're saying throw. So then I'd get rid of this. And then here I would do C dot zod type like that. And then the idea would be then here I could do some sort of lazy evaluation, I think is where we were going with this idea. So then we could do, well, no, we could do z.lazy, pass this a function that returns this. Nice, okay, so that worked. Okay. So I just need to do that on the rest of them. Yeah, I think that'll work, right? So that seems like that was the thing I was missing. Who was that said that? Adam? I think you got me there, man. I'll give this a try. Kyle Brown, I'll give a sub. Been a hot minute since I've done web dev. Oh, thanks, Kyle Brown. I appreciate you. Yeah, so you must be down there at the low level stack, huh? Doing assembly. Are you actually writing assembly every day? Kyle Brown, I've never used C# for anything that low level, and when I'm doing multi-threaded applications, I'm more partial to Java. I know they are syntactically similar, but I just like how it's handled by the JVM. I know nothing about Java, but I've also heard that C# and Java are similar. So Ducky Dev, fun fact, TS is no longer mainly TS in its code base. It's now Rust, I think. I don't know if that's true, Ducky Dev. I think, yeah. Oh, Golang, not Rust. Yeah, I think they're rewriting the TypeScript compiler in Go. I did know that. Abu, let's celebrate when you hit 1,000 subs. Yeah, I'm supposed to, according to Stefan, I'm supposed to do some sort of 1,000 subs special. But it doesn't look like we're gonna make it there today, guys. So, Mark said hi. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Because I am at my hour. For those of you who are new here, I usually take my hour lunch break at work and then I stream. So I've kind of hit the time limit here, and I need to hop off and finish out my work day. But I appreciate it. I'm gonna get. I think thanks to Adam, I'm on the right track here. So I should be able just to finish defining these schemas, and then I'll be able to go over to my server. And then I should be able to use that schema that I defined here. And all should be well, I'm hoping. So, Kyle, yeah, I do full stack in my day-to-day. In my personal projects, I do C and assembly. Oh, dang. So, that's like, Kyle, that's kind of like in baseball. You know how, like, before you get up to bat, you always swing with a donut on, so the bat feels lighter at the plate. You're kind of doing the same thing with your programming. So, like, it sounds like your day job, your professional work is simpler and easier than what you do in your free time. Mark, you work just an hour and then you stream? No, sorry, Mark. What I meant to say is I have a normal day job as a quality engineer, but I get an hour for lunch if I want to take it. So what I do is whenever I take my lunch, I'll usually turn on the camera and stream while I work on some sort of side project. And then when the lunch break's over, I go back to work. Kyle, yeah, I'm working on some custom firmware right now. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's all of that is just like, woo. It goes over my head. But I love to learn about it. Like, I like to watch people work in low level stuff, but I have no idea what they're doing. Jeff Sad says hi. Hello, Jeff. I have a question. What math is used in programming? Jeff, I think it kind of depends. Like, if you're doing a lot of data analysis, you're going to be doing a lot of statistics. If you're in machine learning, you're going to be doing a lot of matrix multiplication. If you're in game development, you're probably going to be doing a lot of angles and collision detection and math around that. So I think it just depends. For web dev, there's not a ton of math, honestly, unless you're starting to deal with like painting stuff on a canvas, things like that maybe. But yeah, I don't know. There's not a terrible ton of math in web dev. Kyle O, for real, quality is goated. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. It's been fun working in quality. I don't have any bones to pick with it. Ducky says you hit 1,000. Oh, nice, very cool. Well, it was a good day for us here. Oh, there we go. We did. We went to 1,002. So today was a good day. Sanskar, I learned Java for 6 months, developed a chat app, was excited to start journey as a Java developer, but then I started learning front end, now introduced to JavaScript, and I ditched Java. Yeah, I mean, front end's fun because you do get to see like what you're building, you get to see it real time, right? I guess the feedback loop is tighter, so I totally understand that, man. Abu, congratulations, you just hit one. Oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Mark, oh well, nice. Enjoy seeing people code in public. Enjoy your time. Yep, thanks for stopping by, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Jeff, what about embedded? I don't know, Jeff. I've actually never done a ton of embedded work, so I can't tell you. But it sounds like maybe you know more than I do. Mark, it's so interesting. I'm in front end, want to jump into back end, but I bet if I'm there, I want to go back. Yeah, the grass is always greener, isn't it? Farhad, is it worth it if you lose your hairline? I don't know, man. It might be. It might be. Depends on what it is. GP, congrats. I appreciate that, GB. Embedded C is a box of frogs. Well, if you guys just got here, I hate to ditch out on you, but I gotta shut down the stream. But if you're interested in joining our Discord, there is a Discord link in the channel links. If you want to join the Discord, happy to have you. Otherwise, I'll be live again probably tomorrow. So at some point, I've got a field trip I'm going on with one of my sons, but I'll probably be live at some point tomorrow. So if you see me stop in, say hi. Not gonna lie, front end is not my cup of tea. Back end is great. Nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong to have your preferences. All right. Well, Abu, have a good day. Abu, I do work from home. Yep, I do work from home. Jeff, yeah, you can join, man. The links are in the channel link section. If you go to the main page of my channel, they'll be there. I do. I have 2. Yep, I'm a 32-year-old dad. So, a 32-year-old dad of 2. But yeah, you guys have a good day. I've got to jump. All right. See you, Jeff. See you, Abu. See you, Kyle. GP, have a good day. Ducky Dev, have a good day. Mark, see ya. Anybody else that's still here, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Thursday. And if it's already Friday for you, have a good Friday. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye, y'all.